Hey everyone, I'm doing a quick tutorial on how coroutines can be used and what it's like to write script with them, and kind of like how they're a little bit different from just writing your typical functions. So the main reason why you'd want to use a coroutine, in my opinion, is time management and easiness to read your code. So I put together a really quick sample. I've got 3 squares here, and each of these squares has a really short script, and these are going to be flickering lights. So when I press play, I can kind of show you what they do. If I click on this first square, every half second it's going to change between white and green. And I can click on the second square and notice how it's changing colors asynchronously. The color change actually depends on when I click. So if I was skilled and careful enough, I could get these all 3 to be asynchronous, or possibly even to make it synchronous. I could even click a same square a second time, and that would cause the flickering to happen twice as often. So I clicked it at kind of the wrong time, but you can tell it's flickering twice as often. So that one, it turned out a little bit better. Same thing over here. So that's just a really simple coroutine sample. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you a second version of this. So let me try this one. And then there we go. Okay. So I'll press play this time. So this time it's still asynchronous and it's using coroutines again, but I've made it more of a managed thing so that it won't ever flicker twice. I'm currently managing it from the game object itself, but you could just as easily do this from some other manager type game object. So the idea behind using coroutines is actually really simple. You just have to keep track of when they start, and then how long you want them to last, I guess, like how much time you want to pass. So I've got an example right here. I'm not using start or update, but you very much could use start and update to call your coroutines. When you want a coroutine to begin, you use the line start coroutine and then give it the name of the function. So this is a little bit more in terms of code than just calling the function itself, but it's really not too much to ask for the convenience you get, because inside of the coroutine, here's all I need to write: yield return new wait for seconds half, rather than doing update and time delta time and doing all these calculations and keeping track of which float is which and when did I start and when did I end. I can just tell this coroutine, hey, wait for half a second and then do the rest of this code. It simplifies things so I don't need as many if statements and stuff like that. So then it'll do this code, and I have it so that it starts itself up again. So at the end of my coroutine, I call start coroutine begin color changing, and that gives me my flickering effect. So my change color script is real simple. I'm just getting the component from this object and changing the color to white or to green depending on what it currently is. So real simple stuff. The managed coroutine, what I did differently is I actually keep track of my coroutines. So I create a coroutine type variable, current routine, and then rather than just calling start coroutine on pointer down, what I do is I check if I currently have a coroutine, and if I do, then I can call stop coroutine, referring back to my original variable. And the way that you assign this variable for a coroutine is a little bit different from some other variables. You have to say current routine equals, and then you do start coroutine. So this might not be super intuitive. I don't know, maybe it is intuitive, but you assign it like this, and that way you can keep track of your coroutines that are going on. So you could have multiple of these, or possibly even create an array. I'm pretty sure you could. I haven't done it in a while, so I don't have any examples of that. But in this case, I can actually stop my coroutine before starting another one. So if I wanted to click on that image and then stop the current flickering before I start more flickering, I'd have that availability. So that's it, real short and to the point. Coroutines, my opinion, they're pretty useful. They're not useful in every case, but in cases where you want to do time management, especially asynchronous time management, coroutines are very handy. A couple of other things you can do besides wait for seconds. If you just want it to skip a frame, just do yield return null. That'll skip a frame. If you want it to wait for a certain amount of time, you can do wait for fixed update. It'll wait until fixed update happens. Wait for seconds lets you determine a time in seconds. You can do wait for seconds real time, wait until, and wait while. So you have a lot of options. Personally, I would just use yield return null and yield return new wait for seconds. Those are the only two that I like to use, but all of them have a purpose, and you can find more examples in the documentation. Hope this helped, and if you liked the video, check out some of the other stuff I have on my channel. Otherwise, see you around.